I'm going to tell you about the time when I quit social media for a whole month. All forms of social media: Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. And this was my sophomore year of high school. Yeah, sophomore year of high school. And I remember going into it, this social media fast, if you will, that I wanted to take this away temporarily to regain focusness and to just honestly try it out. I was really curious more than anything. I wanted to try something new, and I thought maybe this could help me, which it did. But so I remember this was first semester of sophomore year, maybe I want to say October, November-ish, maybe December, like between November and December of sophomore year. And I think honestly it just came to I do remember this. I remember at the times I had braces, right? So I remember I was at the orthodontist office rather. And I just remember thinking to myself, what would happen if I just delete all forms of social media right now for like a couple weeks or something, or a month even. And honestly, it was a spur in the moment decision, and right then and there I just deleted. Snapchat was the first to go, then Instagram, and all the other ones just deleted. Of course I went back on them later on, but this was just more like an experiment, I guess, if you will. This is just a kind of a social experiment, a personal experiment rather, and I wanted to see what the effects would be on me, right? So day one, after deleting Instagram and all the others, I started to notice a tingle in my brain, like an urge to scroll on something, to fixate on something, to distract myself. Because at the end of the day, what social media is really is a distraction from reality, or looking at other people's lives, essentially, or portrayed lives. And instantly, like I said, again, day one, day two, day three, pretty much for the first week, I had an urge to scroll on something, to snap someone, whatever, and to check my notifications constantly. But without social media, I didn't have to do any of that. And honestly, really quickly, what I started to notice was the fact that I didn't worry about anything. My anxiety levels were so much lower. I didn't have to constantly check my phone for notifications like every 10 seconds. I didn't have to worry about someone snapping me back or texting me back, whatever, accepting my friend request, and it was just so stress relieving, honestly. It was so stress relieving. It was so anxiousness reducing, if that's a word. And honestly, it was just so peaceful. It was just bliss, If I had to describe one word, I think it would just be bliss, because I didn't have to work. My stress levels were down. My anxiety levels were down. I didn't have anything to worry about. I had nothing to worry about. I had nothing really happening. Nothing really was happening. I could just focus more on hitting the gym, focus more on my fitness, on my mental health, on just relaxing and rewinding, unplugging. And that was the whole point of the social media detox, if you will. And right away after, I think, maybe not right away, but after 2 to 3 weeks, I was really starting to get used to this detox. And I was just thinking to myself, like, what if I go on a little bit longer, maybe like 1 month or 2 months even. Of course, I didn't go on 2 months, but I think I was just so addicted to peace at that point. I was so, before I was just so wrapped up in my own like little digital world of social media that I didn't stop to look around and focus on the things that actually matter in life. Looking at nature, naturistic scenery, going outside, meeting new people, going to the gym, focusing on school stuff. And honestly, that was probably the most peaceful month of my life, actually. I think you could make a point there. And this, of course, was the time when I was really training heavy for track season the following year. Of course, my other videos I talk about sophomore year on track and how special that was, but I could focus on grinding track and upgrading my fitness levels and doing all the necessary things to support my mental and my physical health without having the distraction of social media. And this is going to be a short video. I just wanted to come on here and talk about how I think it would be a great idea for a lot of you to just go on a fast, go on a dopamine detox. You probably heard of that. I don't know. You might have heard that saying before, dopamine detox, social media detox, where you don't necessarily have to do what I did, where delete like the apps itself, but just don't go on them. Just don't go on the app. Turn off notifications for your social media apps. Don't open them up at all for like, it doesn't have to be a month. It could be 1 week or 2 weeks or 3, you know. But I encourage all of you guys to try this at least a couple times soon, because it very well might be the exact thing that you need to reconnect with your own life and to gain a deeper focus level. And that might be exactly what you need to be successful in whatever you want to be in life, right? So, with that being said, stay on the path of progress, so to speak. Try that social media detox thing. I'm telling you, it works. It doesn't have to be maybe 2 months or a month even, but try 2 weeks, 3 weeks even, and I promise you, your life's gonna change. I promise you that. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.